welcome to the Gravel Trap Podcast. And on today's episode, I've got fellow co hosts Zin, Don, and Chris. How's it going, guys?
It's a going.
It's
It's a
going.
going.
Cool. How was everybody's weekend?
It was eventful. Let's just say waking up to WEC was an interesting prospect. I forgot the race was this weekend or last weekend.
Ah, yeah. Had to get up, or at least woke up about, I don't know, what, 5 o'clock ish. So, but
Yeah.
I was at least able to catch most of it before I had to go get ready
Work.
and go to work. So,
Boom. Feeling on that.
I was able to do the Apex quote unquote clean racing Saturdays and was reminded why the hell I hate Wesley.
He loves you.
we're throwing shade, boys. We're throwing shade.
Need more pop.
If-
Need more popcorn.
If I could cleanly get away with dumping that guy every single race, I would.
Right.
I mean, he has no racecraft, and that's the part
Nope.
that
He's
really
like an
kills me. And then he won't accept any responsibility whatsoever. He was that way with fucking I don't remember Porsche. What we were doing was Porsches, I think.
Same thing. Just ran into and
No, like he would block and this and that, and anytime he would try and call him
Justif-
out on it, he would be
very butthurt.
yep.
Anywho's unfortunately for this week, we don't really have much on the way of sim racing news
No.
per se. So, I guess we can preview it a little bit this weekend. Me and Zin are going to do the Road America 500, which is with the old school GTP and
luck.
the
Audi
Uh,
90
yeah.
GTO.
Yep.
You're gonna die.
So that'll be
Probably.
interesting. Oh yeah, like I said, I mean it is what it is. We've never done this event, so
Is it
It'll
how
be
many hours?
probably about 5-ish.
It's not too bad.
No, it's like 125 laps at Road America and roughly about a minute 50-ish a lap. Yeah,
That's not too bad.
comes out to like 5.5 pit stops. So
Something fun to do.
right. So, but the car we're gonna be driving the Nissan, and it can be a handful.
It can. Well, I mean, it can kill you.
Yes.
At any moment.
So
Yep, this year's all about broadening our horizons and trying things new,
mhm.
which Don won't get on board with Nürburgring.
Fuck
Yeah.
that track.
Come on, Don. I mean, you
Nope.
know we're gonna die anyway. What if we do it in the Mustang?
What if we do it in a chair? What if we do it in a? In a
What
van?
about the GT4 BMW?
I will burn that track before I touch it.
What about a Miata?
Nope.
What about a unicycle?
Needs to agree with James May needs to be nuked.
No. So
I guess
Listen,
it's just
it's
us.
the one race that I'm like not even going to be bothered to get upset about anything going wrong because we know it's going to happen, and that alone is not enough to convince Don to do it.
I mean, the goal is not to have it happen, but it's gonna happen.
Look, we don't have a goal. other
Yeah,
than
No,
just
our goal
do
is to
it.
finish the race with the least amount of crashes possible.
That's not going to happen.
listen, you
Also,
gotta stop with that
every-
3D printed butt plug.
Oh,
It's
you can
annoying
hear
as
it?
hell. Yes, it is annoying as
And
hell.
we can keep hearing it.
Also, saying that we're going to have the least number of crashes, however number of crashes we have is going to be the least number of crashes because we've never done it before.
Yeah, I totally expect within the first hour or two to hit the 100-point limit on X's.
Well, it's gonna be the battle. Who wants to hit the least amount?
Yeah.
Look, you're not contemplating. You're not taking into account how long we're gonna be in the pits for our first smash up of the car.
It
So
doesn't. You do 7 laps a stint. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
no.
The
I
fact
know
of the
that. I'm
matter-
just saying, Sean's like, we're gonna get 100 X's in the first hour. It's like, I don't know. If we're in the pits for an hour, no X's.
True.
Well, I mean, that's just the way it's gonna go. Like, and if rain's in the forecast, just like
Oh,
forget
God.
it. Like, we won't survive 10 minutes, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's like, say, for instance, when you hit a pet, I think it's what once over 100 every 20 you get a black flag.
Yes.
So let's say somehow, some way you get 24 X's, and
In a
Go on,
lap,
try-
you definitely can around there.
can you
Yeah.
get black flag twice in a row, or do you get
Yes.
disconnected?
No.
You don't
there's
get
no
disconnected.
DQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only time you get disconnected is if you have a connection issue. If that flag system.
Or
is
if you
in
go
place.
backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I found out how to do that at Road America.
Yeah, he can hit the wall fast enough to go
And
in
do a front
reverse.
flip going backwards.
Yeah, that was impressive. I
The
was
physics of that.
right. So
Look, it's literally the definition of we're just gonna do it for the fucks and have fun with it. So come on, Don,
Yeah.
join us.
I have to work, unfortunately.
Oh,
don't
it's a
know
24-hour race.
that.
You can. There's
Oh.
you
time.
don't know that.
Your work
Oh.
schedule is not out through June. Shut up.
Also, Don, it's a 24-hour race. There, you can fit some time in. You can fit an hour.
No,
Yeah.
don't fuck that truck.
What's so hard about doing Nürburgring? Come on now.
Don, in retaliation, I'm going to ship you all the Nürburgring merchandise.
Yes.
I'm going to turbo whistle your car.
Chris, you have a mission from me. You need to take a printer that does vinyl and print a big old Nürburgring outline and put it on Don's back window.
He could Chris could easily print out like a mini version scale of the track and with his 3D printer and send it to
No,
Don.
I don't want something that Don can smash. I want it on his back window, so that way when he says he has to burn it, it means he has to burn his own car.
Oh, I will buy the 3D. I will buy the vinyl sticker
Vinyl.
for the Nürburgring, and I will slap it on the back of Don's car.
I got a heat gun. We can make sure it sticks.
No, the Jimmy Johnson sticker mission
Looking
has
it up
been
right now.
superseded by the Nürburgring sticker mission.
Hey, we can do both. We can put Jimmy Johnson on the Nürburgring.
That is true. Just put a circled number 48 somewhere on the track outline. It's like a Race Lab track overlay. Don will love it. It's like for the first time in Don's life, he actually hates me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I'm ordering 2. Add to cart.
What is one
Buy-
for you, one for one for Don?
So for
The grumbles
$4,
keep getting quieter and shorter, and I can tell his anger is getting higher. I love
proceed
you,
to check
Don.
out.
Can I get a big old bumper sticker for Chris's car? Say I love shirtless men. Ryan the square back.
Order placed.
Don, don't worry. I'll get Derek to turbo whistle your car. I like this.
Might improve in.
For $9, I just
Careful,
ordered.
careful. The turbo whistle might attract crazy Civic drivers like it did for me today.
Yeah.
So for $9, I just ordered 2 Nürburgring decals.
I love it. I love it.
I hate that track so much.
Oh, your car is gonna love
The
it.
problem is that you did it in a fucking VW Beetle. You haven't experienced it in a proper race car. So
Doesn't matter. Track's
When was
terrible.
the last time you did a VW Beetle?
in Forza, like 2, according
Yep.
to what
Oh
he
my
told me.
god.
Never again.
We're in a car with downforce, grip, and brakes.
Nope.
The decals will be here Friday. So I will have them in my suitcase and they're coming to Bristol.
Gonna definitely slap that freaking bumper sticker on Chris's car. The freaking raise hell, praise Dale.
That's
I mean, fine. It's gonna get taken off though, but
don't put it on the
Make
paint.
sure- make
Just
sure it's
put
the
it on the
right
windshield.
colors on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I never do the paint. No, I'll be stupid.
Yeah. So
You should
I
make
lo-
sure that's in Pride colors, Don.
Only unless it was Chi Chi when I put it on his old mail because then he was dying and says, what does it say? I pooped today. In big old letters.
it's funny.
He was so happy.
All right.
all
All right, let's move on with the actual show.
right.
Moving on to we're transitioning right into some motorsport news here. This past weekend, obviously we kind of hinted on it earlier. The 6 hours of Imola was for WEC. Ran on Sunday on Easter, so I've got a few highlights of this race. Let's see. Start of the race was relatively clean-ish. There were still some cars that got bumped around a little bit, but no major crashes. There were concerns about rain coming early, although those would be, I guess, kind of unwarranted because it would hold off for pretty much the whole race. There would be some speckles of rain towards the end, but nothing to really affect the race at all.
Yeah, it was quite dry. Most of them, well, at least at the other race, it was quite dry. That's when I kind of tuned in.
Let's see here. The number 85 Iron Dames Porsche made contact with the 33 Corvette. Keating was behind the wheel of the Corvette at the time, so spun him, which is unfortunate to see.
They got a drive through.
Yep. Damn Porsche drivers. That's all right. They would be easily outshined by BMW this weekend.
As is the theme apparently this year in 2025.
Yeah. So
Daytona to Imola.
Yep. Let's see here. The 94 Porsche forced the 38 Cadillac off the track. And then let's see, the 12 Cadillac made contact with the 93. Oh, sorry, the 94 Peugeot. Sorry, I read that wrong. My bad. Forced the 38 Cadillac off, and then the 12 Cadillac decided he was going to make contact with the 93 Peugeot.
So the
the
French versus the Americans. Who's going to win? Although it's the FIA.
I thought we were on the same side when we were in Italy last time.
Yeah. Oof. And then we start the BMW mistakes. So the BMW ended up hitting the back of the 27 Aston, sending it off into the tire barrier. It was a heavy hit.
Most iRacing move I've seen in WC since Coda last year.
Yeah. So he just was behind the 27 Aston and was trying to get around him, but failed at that, and just sent him off. The Aston hit the tire barrier so hard it blew the rear windshield out of the car. So
just dumb.
Yeah. Safety car was deployed for that. Let's see, the number 35 car ended up running off the track and bringing a bunch of gravel and crap back onto the track. That was a mistake for them. Yep. Just when you thought it would only have been limited to the GT drivers, the number 20 BMW and the 7 Toyota ended up making contact. The BMW ended up losing some of its rear wing. Apparently just doesn't matter if you're driving the BMW prototype or the GT car, you're going to drive like a helmet. Let's see here. And then the number 46 BMW made contact with the 21 Ferrari, sending it off the track and it getting stuck in the tire barrier, which deployed a VSC, which then transferred to a safety car because they couldn't get it out of the tire barriers in time.
Can we talk about, go back real quick to the full course show for debris. Can we talk about the fact that the freaking marshals were on the track while the cars were driving right by them?
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah.
I was like, what in the FIA bullshit am I watching right now?
Yeah, that was I I legitimately was like, "Oh fuck!" when I seen the cars coming by on the track and the marshals are out there
I
just
thought
sweeping.
somebody had royally screwed up. Like somebody completely missed a direction somewhere along the line.
Right.
And nope, that's how it was supposed to be. I'm like, really? Not even a virtual safety car? Just like,
Yeah, it was.
dumb.
So if anybody accidentally goes for a move, voila, there goes a marshal.
Well, I mean,
Ah.
you can't pass under yellow, but still,
Doesn't
having the car
matter.
under a pace car or something would have been
Yeah.
better, or just red flag it if you got to clean up that much crap. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah, that like I said, I had an audible gasp when I saw the car like go right past the marshal. I was like, I thought for sure we were gonna have an accident.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then let's see here. The number 50 Ferrari and the number 8 Toyota were battling with each other. The number 50 made contact and they got a puncture, which they had to pit for that. So that dropped them back in the standings. But the 50 was the one that was the one that started last.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yep.
Yeah. So and they came up through the field, man. That car, Jizo Pete's, was flying. So if you ever wanted to question BOP,
Yeah, I don't want to talk about BOP. It was clear as day that it was still fucking broken.
yeah. I mean, they were in Italy, and the Ferrari would come away with the win.
Conveniently.
Get your tinfoil hats out, boys. But
Was it BMW second, and then Toyota
Alpine was
third?
yeah, yep.
No.
So and then the number 92 Iron Lynx Porsche would come away with the win in LMGT3
I thought it was
that was the
Bentai.
Proton.
or
That was the
Proton. Sorry, yeah, sorry,
The
Proton.
Iron Dames finished 8th.
And then right behind it, guess it going again. It was another BMW.
Yep.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
insane.
the 46 had to serve a penalty for.
Yeah, the
making
46
contact.
decided to sabotage their own
Yeah,
race.
but it was the one that came back and almost won the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I forget who was. Oh, it was Kelvin Vanderlinde that was driving that car, and he
Mm-hmm.
damn near ran down. I mean, he caught Ricard Leeds, and if it wasn't for a GTP car going by, or a hypercar car going by, going through, I think it was Aqua Minerale that kind of
Yeah.
sent him back out. I think he might have had him on the last lap.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, other than the one mistake that Valentino had, I mean, he was driving a really good race too. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
guess-
it was interesting. I mean, the battle between the 50 Ferrari and the 8 Toyota was interesting to watch, considering that they were off strategy with everybody else, and so it was. At the end, there was a chance that they would have been fighting for inevitably the lead until whoever was in the 50 just lost his patience.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, and it all boiled down to whether or not the rain was going to come at the end, or if there was going to be a safety car or whatnot. So they took a gamble just to see if something would stick, and it didn't quite pan out in their favor.
But I guess
but,
a fun
yeah.
fact is apparently Rossi hasn't actually won in Italy yet in four wheels.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I saw people talking in the Facebook groups and whatnot, like, "Oh my God, like Porsche is finally taking the fight to the Ferrari," and I'm like, "Am I watching the same race as these guys?" Because no, that's just not like maybe for 30 minutes, but no, that wasn't actually a thing. Like nobody was catching the Ferrari.
Yeah. Yep. And then the Aston Martin was just kind of bebopping along in the back there. So
Making
yeah,
noise.
they need a lot of help. I mean, Aston Martin is caught between a rock and a hard place because with this mandate to run 2 cars, they don't have a complete spare car. I mean, they do because that's what they're using for testing, but the point is that they don't have a lot of spare parts built up. So one, the drivers can't push as hard as I would imagine they'd like to, but 2, they drastically need BOP help. I mean, this might as well be Glickenhaus 2.0 with the BOP because it's the only
Yeah.
non-hybrid car running at the moment, and WC has shown that they've never been able to get the non-hybrids and the hybrids on a even playing field. Whereas
Right.
IMSA has gotten it a little bit better. I mean, they weren't. I mean, Sebring was better than Daytona, and Long Beach was better than Sebring, but I think that was due in part because of the confines of the street circuit. So we'll see how they do next time out. But it would appear, at least just based on the results, that IMSA's BOP is a lot better at harmonizing the 2 types of hybrid cars and non-hybrid than WC is. But like I said, with Glickenhaus and the ISATA, they've never shown any sort of inkling to be able to get that figured out.
Well, and doesn't WEC kind of didn't they like set the BOP and that was kind of it's like kind of set for the next couple of races until we get to Le Mans?
I thought they were doing that, but then again, they made a BOP change between round 1 and round 2. So I don't know if they're still doing that this year or not. That's the way it was last year that they had set the BOP for the first 3 races, and they get to Le Mans, and then they set it for the last 3 races after Le Mans. But it would appear that just based on the first 2 rounds this year, they're not doing the same thing.
Right. Anyway, you were gonna say something, Chris, or
No, I mean, pretty much Valentino Rossi hasn't won on home soil technically yet.
yeah,
And if he didn't mess up, this would have been his big chance. But
right.
it was not to be.
So anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the WEC race wrapped up. Next time they'll be on track is for 6 hours of Spa, and that's in May, May 10th, I believe. So yeah, that was an exciting or interesting race last year because of the red flag situation and them basically adding time onto the clock and giving
Jota coming away with the win.
Yeah, and giving the fans basically
A
a
full
race.
show.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens this year for that race. All right. Transitioning on to Formula One, they ran at Jeddah this past weekend. A few highlights I have for this race: Verstappen ended up going off in T1, and because he didn't give back time or position, he ended up getting served a 5-second penalty.
Bullshit 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
We can talk more after the notes are done with that.
I mean,
look, if you're going to sit there and say that because Verstappen has pulled that move before in Piastri's spot to the point where after COTA last year, they changed the rule and he then subsequently got penalized in Mexico for doing it to Norris, the standard was set and Piastri should have been penalized in the same way. That's all I'm saying.
right.
If you're going to have the penalty, apply it consistently. Like, I'm not debating that it was bad driving, but the point is that if you're going to apply the penalty, do it consistently. Ergo, it should have been on Piastri. Or you just simply tell them, hey, swap the drivers around, like happened with Sainz and Hamilton last year.
Right.
Especially considering the fucking safety car came out literally like 2 corners later.
Well, and shoot, I don't think I put it in the notes, but Norris had an off track, or I think Norris had an off track, and he had to give the position back, or he gave,
No, it was I think it was Antonelli.
or was it Antonelli that had the
Yeah,
off
it
track?
was one of the Mercedes that
Yeah.
did it right behind them in basically the same manner. So
Yeah, and
even
gave the
there, it's
position
not
back.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
So.
the thing is that the stewards have taken the approach, it would seem, that they're not going to direct teams to give positions back. They're going to leave it up to teams to make the decision. The problem is, in this particular case, lap one, turn one incident, which again, the stewards have admittedly said they're going to be lenient on lap one, turn one incidents. Both teams felt they had an argument for why the others should be penalized. So therefore, they weren't going to voluntarily give positions back. So therefore, the stewards should have fucking stepped in, not automatically just handed out a penalty. And if they were going to hand out a penalty, it should have been on the inside car driving the other one off the track, because it's not about turn one, it was about turn two.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say on it.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a year-long discussion about that.
Well, and then Sonoda and Gasly ended up colliding with each other in turn 2, which brought out a safety car.
The first of the second Red Bull strikes again.
Gasly was immediately out of the race. Sonoda kept going, went into the pits, but whatever they were looking at the back of the car or whatever, they told Sonoda to retire. Then the race kind of got strung out on tire strategies. Piastri did end up jumping Verstappen in the pits due to him having to serve the 5-second penalty. Let's see here. I don't know what. I don't know. Just don't think Bortoleto was paying attention when Alonso was coming through, but he almost ran straight. It almost caused a collision there. They kind of scraped tires, but
yeah, Alonso had a double draft situation, and yeah, I don't think Bortoleto was told, and I don't think he was looking in his mirror to expect the second car coming through there. I mean, it looked like from what I was watching that he was, actively trying to make way for the car in front of Alonso and didn't realize, oh shit, there's another fast.
yeah, he kind of did the, I'm just gonna move here.
Yeah, he pulled a Don and here, let me be a gentleman and get out of the way, and almost got smoked for it.
Yeah, and then Lawson ended up getting another 10-second penalty. I think that was for track limit violation.
No, it was the same, leaving the track and gaining advantage after. Passed. Who the fuck is in the other? Oh, Doohan in the other Alpine.
Yeah, Doohan.
Yeah. So like he had passed him well before the end of the front straightaway, but he broke late and went off in turn one and lost time. Actually, like when you watch Doohan's on board, you can see that the gap actually shrinks by the time they get going out of turn two. And the stewards are like, nope, he left the track, gained an advantage, 10-second penalty. It like probably bar none across the last 5 years, the most stupidest penalty I've seen issued by FAA stewards, bar none.
So
it's the FAA, so
yeah, they got some.
If we could just have the WEC people running the Formula One races, I think we'd be okay.
Well, I mean, Eduardo Mortara was a race director for a period of time, but the problem is it's not the race director making the calls, it's the stewards. But
yeah,
to use a statement that I said earlier tonight, the stewards were operating with two brain cells, both fighting for third place over the weekend.
Right. So Piastri did come away with the win of the race, so his second of the season.
Yeah, but it's only like what, 3 seconds gap at the end or something.
Oh,
like that?
Yeah.
So that 5-second penalty definitely loomed large, which put a huge cloud over the race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, Verstappen stretched the gap out to 4 seconds, but due to how long it takes you in the pits and whatnot, it wasn't ever gonna make it up.
Yeah, and I mean, you can sit there and say, well, if Max would have had a better start at the beginning of the race, it wouldn't have been an issue. But you can't definitively know that. I
Mhm.
for one loved Max's interview after the
Yeah.
Yeah.
races, though. It was perfect for Max, and
the
apparently he got.
funny. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he apparently got asked in kind of the presser after the fact. I was reading statements, and he basically alluded to the fact that it was like, I can't talk how I really feel because I'm going to get penalized because of how the FIA does their things. So it's pointless to keep
Yeah,
talking about
but
it.
pretty much, I mean, as you do, you go on social media after the race, see what people are commenting, and lo and behold, they were calling him a child, and it was like all he said was, and I'm gonna leave it at what it is. I mean, say what you want about the guy. If
Yeah,
he,
I don't think he needed to say how he felt. I think everybody knew exactly what he was going to
Yeah.
say if he did say anything. It's pretty freaking stupid.
I mean,
What, you
he
need him
did
to explicitly say that
yeah.
he's upset and disagrees with the call for you to know he's upset and disagrees with the call? I mean, come on.
Right.
The funny thing is, I mean, he did swear in the car, and then engineer just said, "Just keep your head down, go."
I'm
Right.
surprised he didn't get another penalty from the steward.
I was waiting for the fine to show up, but it never
Yeah.
did.
I don't know. Maybe it'll show up later this week or some shit. It'll
Right.
just come out on a random Thursday. Verstappen has to do community service.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I personally don't care for this Jeddah circuit either. So
It's
That
not a good
turn
circuit.
1-2 complex is awful.
yeah.
Like it's the Singapore sling times 10 towards the dumb way.
hmm
But
I
yeah,
what
I
I don't
agree.
understand.
I don't like the Jeddah circuit. I've never liked it.
What I don't understand about this circuit is they said like, yeah, there's like 15, 16 turns, but they're like half of them are flat out. So what's the point of a turn?
Yeah, and the ones that aren't flat out are these stupidly short switchbacks. You know, where
Like
you
left,
can't.
right. Like if
Yeah,
someone tries to go side by side, there's no side by side.
you're gonna have what happened with Piastri and Verstappen. Like you have to
Yeah.
have, and this is kind of my complaint too with the Vegas track. Like it's turned into a DRS draft fest where it's like you have to draft by somebody on the straight,
Mhm.
get the pass done before you get to the break zone, because otherwise you just get into this shoving match of, oh, he pushed me off, oh, I gave him room, and it's
Mhm.
a fucking arguing match. It's not racing.
And then you
Mhm.
have the FAA is like, oh, we're gonna get rid of DRS. Well, then these tracks don't work. They just
Yeah.
don't work.
Okay, we're gonna get rid of DRS. Cool. Let's cut a third of this calendar.
Actually,
Off,
I
please.
would be fine with cutting a third of the calendar. I still
I
feel like
would
it's
be
too
too.
long. Like,
Oh, speaking of tracks, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but the promoters for the Madrid Grand Prix put out a video today, and it showed. I don't know. I'm assuming it was somebody driving the car in a simulator, or if not, it was the computer program. It
Mhm.
basically went through like one of those turn 1-2 complexes that's at Jeddah, and it smacks the left rear into the wall and almost spins out. And I'm watching this going, what a great track. So glad we're leaving Catalonia for this piece of shit.
Right. Ugh.
because the Middle East has money, and that's what F1 wants is money. I mean, I understand
Well,
the whole.
Madrid's in Spain, Don.
Yeah.
Or Chris.
Oh.
No, I
It's
said
a replacement
oh.
for Barcelona.
I know it's in Spain. I you know what I meant.
I feel assaulted.
Sorry, Don. That was habit.
Careful now. He's gonna get short with you.
But I,
Can you say that as low stature?
I just don't understand these cookie cutter circuits that they just pop up every once in a while.
They're
and
not
they
really.
just
Because of
go
the emphasis of doing fucking street circuits for cars that are bigger than the current slate of hypercars.
Yeah.
You don't see hypercars running on street circuits?
Well,
Beach excluded.
Long Beach,
I was about to say.
Detroit,
Belle Isle. Although
no,
that's not happening anymore.
no, they are running at Detroit with the GTP. So,
But just cut the calendar down, put all the good tracks in there, and leave all these shit tracks out.
Yeah, the fact that we're entering into a phase of the F1 calendar where Spa has to alternate with another track,
Mhm.
I hate that.
I don't. What I don't understand is
I mean,
They
what
have-
other track is going to alternate with the Hungaro Ring or Hock? No, because Hockenheim. It's usually Hockenheim and Nürburgring that alternate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. 'Cause do they still do that, or is it just they kind of stopped doing it?
No, they still alternate every other year. They
Okay.
go, or every couple of years, they either go to Nürburgring or then they go to.
Well, so Zandvoort got a 1-year deal to be on the calendar for 2026, but after that, it's being removed from the calendar. So Zandvoort will be no more after next year, which is a crime.
Move Jetta.
But yeah, Spa signed a new deal through 2020, or yeah, past 2028. But starting with the 2028 calendar year, it will enter in a rotation system.
Right.
So what's the point of just trying to put like? So at what point are we gonna have like 30 races for an F1 season?
I don't think we'll go that far, but
I mean, they're already losing mechanics because it's just too long of a schedule. At that point, I think that's when you have the issue. Is just it's too long of a season. Cut it down to like 18 max.
I
And
mean,
then
you can't. They at least this year they've at least done better at scheduling the tracks so they're more like uniform on
Mhm.
how they, how
yeah.
the traveling is. So
Although we're at Miami next week, so
right.
Yeah, it doesn't say what it would alternate with. This particular article from Autosport seems to think that Imola is going to be done. Like it says here, F1 chief Stefano Domenicali has long maintained it would be tough for Italy to hang on to both of its F1 races, and when Monza secured a 6-year extension until 2031, the writing appeared to be on the wall for Imola. So I guess like the 6-year deal that Spa signed said that it would be on the calendar for those 6 years, if I'm interpreting this correctly. So it says Belgium effectively gets a 2-year reprieve before alternating to a biannual race as originally planned by F1. One way you could read this is that none of the F1 candidates joined the circus, including a second Saudi round at Qiddiya, which is that huge elevated track that you've seen concept pictures of. Thailand, South Korea, or Rwanda would be ready before 2027 at the earliest.
Listen, if they don't change the name of the Qiddiya track to Rainbow Road, I am going to be very mad.
The fact that they're even contemplating running on that circuit is terrifying. But I guess you can't expect much from a circuit that had no problem running a race with missiles being launched 20 miles away from
and
it.
then Rwanda, really?
Yeah. I don't think it's the Rwanda in South Africa in Africa that you're thinking of.
Okay. 'Cause I was about to say.
No, I guess it is. Yeah, East Africa.
I mean,
That's weird.
why
that
not
they
go
I
to
mean,
South
Kyalami.
Africa?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go to fucking Kyalami at least, but I don't know.
I guess back in December they launched a bid to try and join.
Oh, so they've only launched a bid. There's
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we're not the FIA, because then half of these tracks would not be on the calendar.
No.
Yeah, the track would be a permanent circuit near the planned Bugesera Airport, close to Kigali.
Kigali?
Oh God.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for Kyalami joining. It's owned by Porsche.
I mean,
really?
and it's a proper circuit. So, I mean, in the couple of simulators that I played where it's been in, it's not a bad track.
No, it's got a flow.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
On to the off-track news.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the next race for Formula One is what, May 10th at Miami.
Nine.
So we get to see the fake Marino once more.
Yep. So
Yeah, Kyle Lamy is owned by Tony Venter, who's the chairman of Porsche South Africa.
okay.
Oh, thank you, Tony.
So
But
yep.
yeah,
Like I said, is what it is at this point. So all right. Speaking of tracks in Miami, perfect
excellent
segue. Yes.
We almost act like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. We're semi-professional here.
Well, some RT smart.
Yeah. Smirt. SMERT. Smirt. Article is by motorsport.com. It says Homestead Miami likely to host 2026 NASCAR Championship weekend.
Weaker.
The initial report was from Athletics NASCAR reporter Jordan Bianchi.
Bianchi bomb.
Yeah. Bianchi states that the return of Homestead Miami is understood to be for 2026 only, before rotating. Oh my goodness, I can't talk, to another track in
Yeah, you done like me.
2027. Guillermo Santa Cruz, Homestead Miami Speedway's president, confirmed the hosting the championship title is still their goal for the circuit. It's definitely something they've wanted to see happen, and hopefully in the not too distant future, the championship will come back. Homestead Miami Vice Mayor Sean Fletcher previously stated that it would be a big deal for the city to have the series come back. It's a really big deal for the city of Homestead, and perfect for the drivers. They love the track. It's really a driver's track, and I feel like it would be great for the fans. It says NASCAR has yet to officially announce the date. Phoenix, which has hosted the track championship title since 2020, faced backlash following the 24 edition of the race, with some arguing that it didn't have an excitement the fans expect and was getting too predictable. There's a couple of driver article motorsport.com interviewed some drivers and stuff like that, that would just kind of, the overview said that they would be really excited and happy to go back to Homestead, and have it be the championship round, not only just for 26 but potentially in the future. Like William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Justin Allgaier, and Ryan Blaney were some of the drivers that they did interview, and stuff like that. And they kind of all had the same sentiments that, it'd be an awesome track to have for the championship. William did state that there are some amenities that the track does need to still improve on to make it a better fan experience. Maybe doing something like what Daytona has with the elevator system or the escalator system, and possibly adding elevators and additional cooling stations, just in case the race gets hot for the fans. So it's an interesting, like I said, it's kind of what he had something different to say about the fan amenities. So personally, myself, I would love for them to go back to Homestead. The track puts on an amazing race with this car, and right now we need, with the way that the car is, you need to probably have your best tracks finishing out the championship season. So
I'm a Homestead fan. I feel like I've been pretty vocal on that. Never much cared for Phoenix in any iteration, virtual or real.
Needs to get blown up. Well, Sean can test that, especially in night racing.
Oh, speaking of Don, I told this to Sean last night. Indy cars are back at Legacy Phoenix. Official. It's an
Yeah.
official rank series. So
See, I told you that was the track that we did with that. You want to flash back at now, Sean?
No. So, I oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sure the rotation is just for them to evaluate to figure out what works best for them. I mean, the Homestead community seems like they've been waiting to get it back for a while and are ready to pull out all the stops for it. At least based on what I've read from people going in front of the city council and whatnot to get support for it.
Right.
Did it say who else was in contention for the?
It did
championship
not mention who is in contention for it. I know there's been rumors of possibly bringing it back to Atlanta one year.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know how they would see. That's the thing is like I feel like people would be unhappy if they ran it at a road course or a super speedway because of the chance aspect of it, or just the fact that people suck at
Yeah.
it. But
I mean, I personally would like to see it go to a 3-race format for the championship.
I agree.
And then you
It's
just
so weird that you have 3 races for all of the rounds except the very final one.
Yeah. And what they could do is those final 3 races every year they could alternate the order of them. So
Yeah.
you pick a say you want to keep Phoenix. Okay, we keep Phoenix, in there. We put Homestead in there and then we pick another track. I mean, if you want to
Like
have a Talladega or an Atlanta something in there, fine. That's fine. And then you just 1 year it's the one year you do Atlanta, Phoenix, Homestead. The next year you do Phoenix, Homestead, Atlanta, and you alternate those 3 tracks there, and that way it kind of mixes it up. I mean, and then one of the every third year we'll get Phoenix as the final track, but at least we'll have those 2 other tracks that the final 4 drivers have to basically be on their game for.
Yeah. I would say Auto Club, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. No kidding. So, anyway, let's see here. I think this was left over from last week.
GTP one, it's been left over.
Yep. Get
That
rid
was
of
last week.
that. Get rid of that one. All right. Moving on to some IndyCar news here. This article is by Racer.com. So for anybody who does follow the IndyCar series, or at least follows it extensively, knows that IndyCar has its own little mini series akin to Formula One and NASCAR, called 100 Days to Indy, where they follow, obviously, as it says, the 100 days leading up to the Indy 500, and then covering the actual day of the 500. So the Fox Sports and the team behind 100 Days of Indy have set the date for the 3rd season launch, which takes place on May 22nd. Its location, which moves from the CW to Fox Nation streaming service. Don't know how that is. That's going to affect their ratings. Honestly, they should have probably have moved it to either Fox Sports or the big Fox. But anyway, it says Racer.com learned that the team capturing the additional footage and features for Fox are slated to use in at least one and possible 2 Indianapolis 500 specific documentaries being made as a primer for Fox's first airing of the Indy 500 and celebrating the event's long history back to 1911. So IndyCar's off-season moved to Fox. The series created an opportunity to serve an existing fan base while engaging a new audience, where all of its races are aired on the mainstream of Fox. As demonstrated in production efforts across the 3 opening IndyCar races, Fox has taken deliberate steps to educate newcomers for the IndyCar series with short personality features, vehicle insights with acquisition of the Indy 500 and similar larger events, larger initiative with a documentary style storytelling about the world's largest single day event in motion. Fox Sports representatives confirmed the added filming was taking place, but declined to comment on the specifics of the intended use, according to Fox Corporation CEO Lachlan Murdoch, if that's how you say his name. It goes on to say that Fox Nation has between 2 and 2.5 million subscribers. Previous seasons of the 100 Days in Indy have been repurposed on Netflix, where it has reached a greater audience. The new season of 100 Days to Indy debuts 3 days prior to the May 25th 500, which is a change from previous seasons, which went live in April and presented most of the episodes prior to the Indy 500. In another new twist, the TV series, despite utilizing the same name, will continue filming after Indy to showcase the fight for the 2025 championship. Although the remainder of the season, which ends August 31st in Nashville, has not been fully laid out yet. So, like I said, I kind of think they shouldn't show it on Fox Nation because it seems very select and limited on their fan base, and I don't
Right.
know. I don't know how much the actual Fox Nation fan base is going to watch the documentary.
Yeah,
But
Fox Nation can be put under something that shouldn't exist, but here we are.
yeah, but the extending it beyond just the Indy 500 and showcasing the entire season, I think is a smart idea. Because while Indy is a big deal, and yes, it should have something to showcase it, the season really gets firing and going after Indy.
Ooh, okay.
So, I mean, that's when we have, I mean, some of the better racing is generally after the 500 is over with. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. So, I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add about it.
It's all good to me.
Nope.
We'll see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. So, alrighty. Moving on to our next article is also by Racer.com. The 2026 ballots were revealed for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So Kurt Busch and Randy LaJoie have joined the Hall of Fame nomination list. Obviously, Busch is a former Cup Series champion, Daytona 500 winner. He's won races in all 3 of NASCAR's National Series. LaJoie is a 2-time Xfinity Series champion and former North Series champion. He made starts in all 3 National Series, but won 15 races in the Xfinity Series. He is probably, more known now to some of newer-ish fans as a seat maker for NASCAR. All the carbon fiber seats that the drivers run are all LaJoie racing seats. So he's really helped focus on safety aspect of the next gen and Xfinity cars and Truck Series. with the addition of, like I said, carbon fiber molded seats and roll bar paddings that go in specific areas and stuff like that. So yeah, it's cool to see them get nominated. Still other drivers that are on the ballot. Greg Biffle, 2000 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion, 2002 Xfinity Series champion. Neil Bonnet won 18 times for NASCAR Cup Series, including consecutive Coke 600s. Tim Brewer, 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion crew chief. Jeff Burton won 21 times in the Cup Series, including the Southern 500 and 2 Coke 600s. Randy Dorton built engines that won over 9 championships across NASCAR National Series. Harry Gant, winner of 18 Cup Series races, including 2 Southern 500s. Interesting note about Harry is he didn't actually win his first race until the age of 38. So, yeah. Harry Hyde, 1970s NASCAR Cup Series champion. For those of you who watched the Daytona 500, or not Daytona 500, the Days of Thunder movies, he was featured as the crew chief for in those movies. So the and the guys talking to the car and stuff inside the barn. That's supposed to be modeled after Harry Hyde, who would used to talk to the cars after the races and stuff. Jack Sprague, 3-time NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion. They also have not only do they have a modern ballot, but they also have a pioneer ballot. And on that list is Jake Elder, is 3-time NASCAR Cup Series championship crew chief, including Daytona 500 and 2 Southern 500s. Also interesting to note that the 3 times that Jake won the championship were with 3 different teams. He was infamously known as Suitcase Jake, where he would generally quit teams before the end of a season if he didn't like the way that the driver was driving or how the owner was treating him. So he did win one of his first championships with Earnhardt in the number 2 car. For those of you who know about that. Ray Hendrick won over 700 times in NASCAR modifieds and super late models sportsmen's. I don't think that is he related to Rick Hendrick? I don't know.
I don't think he is.
I don't think so. Nope, he's not. Okay, just didn't know if he was or not. Let's see here. Banjo Matthews built cars that won over 250 NASCAR Cup Series races and championships. Yeah, if you ever hear Mark Barton when he does his podcast occasionally, or when he talks about a banjo car, or if you hear anybody talk about that, they're referring to Banjo Matthews.
Gotcha.
Larry Phillips is a 5-time NASCAR Weekly Series champion. Bob Wellborn, winner of 9 NASCAR Cup Series races and 3 in the old convertible division. And then Alvin Hawkins is NASCAR's first flagman, established NASCAR racing at Bowman Gray Stadium with Bill France Sr. We also have Lisa France Kennedy as the NASCAR executive vice chairman of one of the most influential women in sports. That's also Ben Kennedy. That's his mom. Which Ben Kennedy is probably going to be the next one in line for running NASCAR after Jim France decides to step down. Dr. Joseph Matoli, founder of Pocono Raceway. Les Richter, a longtime NASCAR executive, oversaw competition and helped grow the sport on the West Coast. So anybody who, like I said, he was instrumental on making sure that Auto Club Speedway or California Speedway got put on the map. Humphrey Wheeler, former president and general manager of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Yeah, if you've know anything about NASCAR, you probably know and have heard of who Humpy Wheeler is. He used to, for the Coke 600, he would always make sure there was some sort of wild, like bus jumping or car jumping or motorcycle stunts
Stuff,
before the
yeah.
before the start of the race. So yeah, that's your NASCAR ballots. Like I said, I don't know. Just kind of looking through and skimming through this list. I think Kurt Busch is an interesting addition, and so is Randy LaJoy. I feel like there's probably some other people on this list that are definitely, a little more deserving, especially like Harry Hyde, Harry Gant, Neil Bonnet. I mean, obviously like Jake Elder and Banjo Matthews and some of those guys on the historic or on the Pioneer ballot.
Right.
So, but yeah, that is kind of all the articles and news that we have for this week. So, unless you guys have anything else you want to bring up or talk about.
Zin, you anything?
No, I'm
No.
all right.
All right. Well, do we have any rants? I don't know.
Nah. No, I don't think that.
But anyway, well, I guess if that is it, let's see here. This weekend, what do we got? We got NASCAR is at Talladega.
Mhm.
I don't think IndyCar is running. No, I don't think they're running until next weekend. Yeah.
I think first testing starts this week on Thursday.
Yeah, pending rain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah, and we don't got IMSA till May 9th. So, yeah, I know this weekend, what's it, SRO is going to be at COTA.
Yep.
So, just a few little quick hits on that. The GT4 series looks to have a 30 car entry, and the GR Cup series has now ballooned to 32 cars for the entry list on that.
Yeah,
So,
Rutledge Wood is running in that.
yeah. So is what's his name from Dude Perfect, I think.
Again?
Yeah, I think so because it doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't have it because he's not listed under the newcomers list. But yeah, I think was it Cody? Is that his name from Dude Perfect that we ran at
Yeah.
Indy? Yeah, I think he's running this weekend as well. So, and they said something about they're going to be out shooting content with some of the other GR Cup drivers and stuff. So I'm sure they're going to have some wacky stuff for their Dude Perfect videos. So,
Okay.
so yeah, if you're out there this weekend, which I think Zin, you said you're going to try to go on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I hope so.
Right. So, well, if you end up going, you can report back to us on how the weekend was. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get out there and watch some of it. I mean, the 3-hour endurance race for GT4, I think it's the only endurance race they're running this year. And
Mhm.
you got Dollarhide Racing in their home race running the Mustang. Yeah, it'll be, I'm not a, I don't know. I go back and forth on Rutledge Wood, but, seeing him in a race car will be cool.
I think he's funny. Like, he's got some funny stuff sometimes.
I like him in doses.
Right.
Put it that way.
I mean, I'd still say probably prime Rutledge Wood was when he was doing the speed stuff. But
Yeah, he was no Justin Bell though.
no, but just like I said, when they had him on like Trackside Live and stuff like that,
He was fine.
Yeah.
that was when he was funny, because he had other people to play off. His stint as the Top Gear America host stuff was kind of It was okay.
Yeah.
I think they just had him on there because he was like
Good
more
personality.
more redneck ish than the other hosts.
Yep.
Right.
So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so we'll be back next week, like I said, with NASCAR news. Zin, you said you're getting a new wheel, so if you've got it in by then, you can let us know how that is.
They're bitching about all racing.
We'll talk about how our Road America 500 went. Probably ends in tears, but you never know.
It just depends on if we run into a Audi doing the bad thing or if we take ourselves out.
Yeah, if we 360 no scope ourselves into the wall.
GT3 or not GT3? The Nissan one you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing the insta kill you car. So yep. So all right, we will talk to everybody next week. See you later. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye, everybody.